I have been studying fear for a while. I come to the conclusion that really, I don't feel that fear can be overcome. It can be accepted.
7 years ago, you had breast cancer.
Everything from the outside looked really well. Having like this jet set work, really successful agency. But then from the inside, I was like really getting to a burnout. They said it's so aggressive. In 24 hours, you're starting the chemotherapy. That was kind of a breaking point for me to find out and operate how we're gonna do it within the family.
In this journey, there is so much pain, anxiety. Was there a moment it's really like a rock bottom and you feel like, oh, I cannot do this?
You really want to live every day. Don't wait for the perfect moment. If there's a problem, stop and take care of your mental health. It's not like putting everyone first. You need to pour to your cup first before you can help the others. So if I ask what's holding you back, it's usually the fear of judgment, fear of failure, perfectionism, even fear of success, imposter syndrome, who am I to take the space? So all these fears are coming up. It's like these limited beliefs, even for women in the corporate, even for founders. It's the same.
In today's world, personal branding is not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. That's why I'm so excited to welcome Petra Gatto to Women in the Penthouse. Petra's mission is simple but powerful: to help women be fully seen. With over 25 years of experience in marketing and branding, from serving as a corporate director to founding her own agency, Petra has worked with billion-dollar companies as well as high-stakes executives and founders, guiding them to stand out with authenticity, clarity, and impact. But Petra's story goes far deeper than strategy and branding. 7 years ago, she faced one of life's greatest challenges: a battle with breast cancer. That journey not only transformed her perspective, but also awakened a profound understanding of courage, purpose, and what it really means to live a life fully aligned. Today, Petra empowers women to build fearless and limitless personal brands that reflect who they truly are, not just what they do.
Personal branding, it's not about what you do, but it's about who you are.
What is like a performative personal branding compared to a natural, authentic one?
We never create a personal brand, we just build a personal brand. I feel personal branding is like a makeup. We only can show up the parts that we want to show. It's in your hands. People misunderstand that. With a person who is building their strong personal brand, it's not about look at me, but look at that. Having a strong personal brand, you are the guide to help others. I think the worst advice that I hear is get out of your comfort zone. Then after my journey and encounter with cancer, I was taking first pictures of women cancer survivors. They had one similarity. They were like, oh, we don't want to put ourselves first and we don't want to take the place in the spotlights. That's not right. We need to claim more space. So that's where the why kind of ignite spark came, and I started this new business, helping women to be more visible.
Welcome back to Women in the Penthouse, a podcast and community that empowers women to live a fearless, limitless, and ageless life. Since launching, we've been receiving heartfelt feedback from around the world, which really reminds us how those stories matter. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button so that we can bring more inspirational stories and practical tools to help you to live a more fearless, limitless, and ageless life. So Petra, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm really happy to have you here. Actually, we just spent some time with each other last week, but it's online. Correct. With your perfect, wonderful workshop. Thank you. I really love the energy. It's like setting a very good intention, clarity for Q4.
Thank you.
Which is so important.
I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, lovely.
I did.
And finish strong the year. That was the aim.
Finish strong. Yes. And so that's why I'm so excited to see you now in person.
Yeah, I feel like I know you for a while, It's been just like 3 weeks we know each other.
Yeah, that's we just chatted.
Sure.
It's a beautiful connection, always like a gift from the universe, right? So happy to meet you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you too.
And yeah, Petra, you have an amazing journey. I know you lived 8 countries.
Yes.
4 continents.
Correct.
And you worked for a big like advertising agency, and you also running your own branding marketing company for a long time, working for big brands. And now you said something powerful. So you're empowering women to be fully seen,
Right.
which is really beautiful. So I think we're gonna dive into all the details. I'm truly excited. But before that, can you tell our audience who is Petra?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, first of all, I'm so honored to be here. And who am I? Well, I'm a personal brand strategist, and I'm a mom of two boys, nearly teenagers. I am from Prague, from Czech Republic, and I am really on a mission to empower women to be more visible, more successful, and more impactful. And I'm doing it through helping building their personal brand, so they can really fearlessly and like confidently move towards their dreams.
Yeah, I love that. Personal branding is such an important, pertinent topic, right?
Yeah.
But you grew up in Prague, you mentioned.
Well, I grew up in Prague in Czech
Yeah.
Republic, and then I grew up kind of in Denmark as well. So kind of between these two places in Copenhagen.
So tell us something about your teenager time. Like, what was that young Petra
Well, the
like?
background, I think it kind of sets me for what I'm doing now, helping women. I'm coming from Czechoslovakia. It was a communist country, so like standing out was not really something that was encouraged. And especially for women, I think like having your voice, that was not something encouraged. So we were taught at school or like by the society that we should all like kind of blend together and do everything for the society, and not to have like, you know, not to put ourselves in the spotlight, and not to be that much visible. So now bringing that like past what I learned in my childhood, I'm really on a mission to change that and help women to find the courage and to be more visible and really have to claim the spotlight and share their voices.
But you moved continents like when you were
I
young.
was born in Prague. I kind of grew up between Prague and Denmark, and then I moved to Australia.
Okay.
I lived for a year in Melbourne, in Malaysia for a year, in Kuwait, in Mexico, in San Francisco when I was 19. That was amazing. I really loved that. And now I've been in London for past 13, 14 years.
Always an explorer and
Yeah.
adventurer. I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what was maybe most fearless thing, one fearless thing before 30 years old?
Oh, wow. I think like going, you know, that time was no mobile phones, no internet even. And I moved to San Francisco with like not much money, and had on a mission to really learn the language. And
At what age?
I was 19, 18 and a half. Yeah.
Oh,
So that
okay.
was kind of fearless
So
decision.
why San Francisco?
In San Francisco, the part, I don't remember now. I think Richmond. I don't remember what was the part.
Looking
of
like
San
it's very
Francisco.
impulsive. That's the fearless part.
Yeah, definitely. And it was an opportunity to go and study a bit of English, but to just find that. So that was really, I think, fearless. And also then later on to moving to Australia when when we lived in Czechoslovakia, there was a communist time and the borders were closed. And after the Velvet Revolution, we could travel. So it was amazing. And I wanted to take the opportunity and study and work in Australia. That was possible. So I think that was really a fearless decision as well, because I didn't have much money and I just moved across the whole world with like the mission to, again, like have some adventure and learn the language, learn about a different culture. So I think that was when I was in my young adulthood. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I'm sure there are more, like you asked for one, but I'm sure there is more than that. I founded my first agency when like 25 years ago. So that's like my yeah, that's really like 30s. Yeah. So that's coming to older age.
That's my next question, actually. It's actually still relatively young. You already decided to get out of the big agency and started your own business. What was that transition?
Well, I think always like there's the why, right? Why are you doing
Yeah,
such a move?
yeah.
And that time I wanted to explore another opportunity. And I think the drive behind that was definitely different than what I have now, but it was the freedom. I wanted to travel. I wanted to explore what it is like to run your own business. And that time it was like a gap on the market in Central Europe. There were really becoming more popular having weddings, destination weddings. So people from Canada, US, Australia, Hong Kong, they were all traveling to Central Europe to get married. So I established one of the first agency and we become like a leading agency for Central Europe for people to get married for destination weddings. And that was 20 years, 21 years ago, yeah.
Oh, for wedding
Yeah, for
events.
destination weddings,
Oh.
yeah. So then we did everything for them. Like there was people like 100 people coming to Czech Republic or other destination within Central Europe, and we organized everything for them. Yeah.
You mentioned something beautiful. I think it's always about the why,
Yes,
right? You
absolutely.
have some deeper level reason you start this business.
Yes. Yeah, that's another story. Like with my current business, empowering women, but I'm sure we get to that.
Yeah, we'll get that later. Yeah. And before you establishing your own business, you said lived in Malaysia for
Yes,
1 year.
yes.
That's with your previous company for advertising, right?
Yes, correct. I work for BBDO. It's one of the
Big,
like really big
yeah, of
advertising
course, yeah.
agency. My clients was BMW. We launched the Mini Cooper rebrand, which was amazing, and yeah, that was such a great experience. But also culturally, like coming from Europe and moving to Asia and learning how it is to understand all that culture there. That was great, and that was like a dream job, I think, really, in my
When
opinion.
was the first moment like you realized you mentioned your upbringing is more like blending in, like fitting in the whole culture, right? When was the first moment, or if you remember, you realize, oh, there is another way for women to live?
I think even like from the early age, I always was the one who was standing out in the
Oh,
school,
okay.
and not often the teachers like that.
Uh-huh.
But I was always the one who said, "Okay, come on, we can do it different." And I would always sign up as to be the leader of the classroom or something like that. Try to make a difference and try to make a change. So as long as I remember that it was like in me, I think, to just say, okay, we can do it a little bit differently. Let's not just settle for the norm. Let's push the boundaries a little bit.
So you're born as a black sheep.
I don't know.
I kind of feel. Okay. And yeah, I think we touched a little bit about the fearlessness already.
Yeah.
But Women in the Penthouse, in our community, we have three keywords, which is fearless, limitless, and ageless. So we'll start with fearless. And I will start with the question I ask every guest. So, what is your definition about being fearless?
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I think it is a whole think about I feel less, right? What it is. I have been studying fear for a while. And when I started my journey with visibility and empowering women, I was looking into that, like what is it like fear, how we can overcome it or how we can like accept it. And I come to the conclusion that really I don't feel that fear can be overcome. It can be accepted. And you can live with, understand where the fear is coming from and live with that to move forward. So the definition, I don't know what would be the definition fearlessness. I think it's to move forward, take messy actions and understand your fear. Where is it coming from? That's something I think very powerful.
So the second one is take messy action.
Even messy action, just take action to go forward. Because fear is something that we often feel like hold back. And we create a stories like why we cannot move forward, why we cannot do this, why we cannot do that. And there's the fear. But if we really tune in and understand where the fear is coming from, I think that can really help us understand and take the action forward. So I always advise my clients like to understand the fear, accept it, and then move forward.
You said, where is it from?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the roots of the fear? I think that's important to understand.
Did you have a case maybe yourself, like you
Yeah.
find the roots and just figured out how to move forward with the fear?
I have a story that first time I was invited to be on the stage, 200 people, and sharing my own personal story. And before in a corporate, I was used to deliver a presentation, and that's different. You like presenting a product or service of someone else. But about my own story, that was a different discipline. I think it was like 5 years ago. And I was really full of fear. I was so scared. I was like, I can't do it. I can't stay on the stage, all the lights, all the people, and I have to share my own story. How I'm gonna do that? So I really studied the fear, like what I'm gonna do. And I come to conclusion like, okay, I'm gonna accept the fear. I'm just gonna go and say, okay, me and the fear will walk on the stage and say what worse can happen. If I fade, well, then someone, probably my husband was in the audience, will pick me up. If I forget the line, it's okay. You know, nobody knew what I was gonna say. But if the story will resonate with one person, my mission is complete. So that's how I kind of overcome or kind of accepted my fear. That's my story with that. And I always would say, understand your why, tune into your why you want to do the action, and take the fear that is there maybe to tell you something, maybe to warn you, like to understand why is it there, and then move forward. Because unless there's a lion in front of you, there is not big fear, right?
I remember I read your post about that event you're
Right,
speaking.
yes, I
Yeah,
did.
you mentioned even before stepping on the stage, you still have this idea you want to run,
Yes,
right?
I was really scared.
And I
Yeah.
think you put it beautifully, like me and the fear together on the stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's important to accept it and not to wait, because a lot of women are waiting like for the right moment, but you know that the right moment is never
There's
gonna
no right
come,
moment.
right? There's
Yeah.
never a
It's
right
always
moment.
now,
Yeah,
this moment.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best moment. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I think it's so relevant. We have so many people who want to be seen, especially talking about speaking on the stage, but we have so much like layered fear holding us back. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we will talk about this more in the later part. But I want to ask, what is one maybe misperception or biggest misperception you think women hold about fear?
I think that it comes with all these limited beliefs, what can happen to them. That come is there like visibility. If you say that's what I do as the expertise. So a lot of women would tell me like, I'm scared to be visible. And then there's the limited beliefs, like the fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of, you know, I don't know, it could be sometimes even fear of success. You know, it's all this, it needs to come like, what is it? Like, why is it holding you? Like, really name it. What fear is that? Yeah, but I didn't really answer your question. Sorry. I
No,
went
it's
away.
okay. I think I remember my first interview with Sarah. She has the generalized anxiety disorder, and we also talk about the like fear, those generating anxiety. I think she said from advice from her doctor is you really need to name all the fears you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whether it's spider or that kind of everything, like speak on the stage, definitely one of them.
Understand, like-
Yeah, all the fears. Then you will and try to list down what that fear really hold you back, or what that fear prevent you to achieve
To
something
take
really
action.
beautiful
Yeah,
or really
absolutely.
big to experience your life. Then when you write down, you can really see it clearly. Oh,
Yeah.
I did have that fear.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Yeah, absolutely. Name it and understand where is it coming from
yeah, yeah.
and why is it there? What is holding you back? And sometimes it's just we say, oh, that's we create that procrastinate and feel like imposter syndromes and all that. But it's just the fear that we just kind of creating within ourselves.
I know in that speech you actually shared one very personal experience, and I know that's also one of the biggest life events that really changed your life.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about this event. I think it's very inspiring. 7 years ago, you had breast cancer. So look at you, glowing, radiant here. I feel like it's really, really very inspiring. You mentioned a bit with me. So tell us maybe back to that moment when you heard that diagnosis and what was the thought in
Yeah.
your mind?
Yeah, I can tell a little bit of the story with that.
Yeah.
And what was happening, I was that was 7 years ago. I was running successful business. I was flying around Europe. I would, everything from outside looked perfect, like small children, nice, family, everything. But from the inside, it was, I felt really kind of disconnected and or like really stretched and overwhelmed. And I felt like, who am I to ask for more? Because I felt like I have everything. But in that moment, I was kind of getting to a burnout because I was working a lot and traveling a lot and try to be, wearing all the hats that we women often wear, being, a great wife and daughter and a sister and a friend and mother, of course, and all that, and a boss and everything. So it was
But
too
you
much.
said disconnected
Yeah.
with
Like with myself, because coming again from a background, we were taught that there was nothing like a mental health when I was growing up. There was nothing like, oh, you can take care about your mental health. You should have a therapist or something. So unless you break your leg and you need to see a doctor, that's fine. But if it's your mental problem, mental health,
Yeah.
that you're getting overwhelmed or whatever, stress, you're fine. You just go with that. And that was my upbringing. So I didn't really search for any specialist to help me.
And you look beautiful on paper, you said. Yeah.
Yeah, everything from the outside
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
really well. Having like this jet set work, really successful agency,
yeah.
and doing high-end weddings, celebrity weddings. But then from the inside, I was like really getting to a burnout. And the same week when I realized like, okay, I can't do that anymore. This is too much. I went for like a regular checkup that it's advised for women over 40 to go and have a mammograph. And they told me, oh, there's something wrong. We need to do more tests. And I was like, no. I'm busy calendar, busy schedule. I need to go. That must be a mistake. I feel fine. And it's like, no, that's, we need to do further tests. So they did. And very quickly I learned the diagnosis of a breast cancer. And I had 24 hours to sort everything. They said it's so aggressive. If you want to take care of that, in 24 hours, you're starting the chemotherapy. So that was kind of a breaking point for me to really find out and operate how we're going to do it within the family. Funny enough that not funny, but that's something when it's something happening, everything is happening in one point. My husband broke his Achilles, so he couldn't walk. So imagine me with that diagnosis, and he couldn't walk and stuck in the chair for 3 months, having a small children. So it was like, everything went on autopilot, and we had to figure out the situation. So for me, that was like a breaking point to understand like, okay, how I was never asking like why happened to me, but how I'm gonna do it and deal with that. And then after everything was over, after a year of the encounter, and they said, okay, now you back to your health, amazing, you did it. Then everyone expect me to go back to normal. But I changed so much. I changed, and I wanted to really take a pause, taking care finally of my mental health and understanding what was that telling me. Like, okay, I need to pause. I want to change. This is not the life I want to run like that. So that was my breaking point, definitely, within my disease. And I think the silver lining of that was to really like reset my values and kind of change my life the way that I look at it, and understanding and going back to my current why, which we get to that.
Yeah, you mentioned silver lining.
Yeah.
Right. It's said we need to always find a silver lining. I think there's quite a well-known, famous, she's also breast cancer survivor. Her name is Holly Jacobs. She's on Oprah show and a lot of shows. I think she has a book titled Silver Lining.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And she also talked about how it completely changed her perception, about perspective about life. But she also mentioned, though it sounds positive to find silver lining, when you were in the process, in this journey, there is so much pain, anxiety. So when you look back, was there a moment like you feel like it's really like a rock bottom and you feel like, oh, I cannot do this?
There's been many moments like that. To be honest, I still get like every year before a big checkups, I still get anxiety. I still like can't sleep and all that. It still kicks in. I think that's with any cancer survivor will tell you that it's still in your mind, that the dangers.
So it's always there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But I think in going through the process, I was really like a fighter. I was like, okay, we need to get through it. There's no way I'm not gonna, kind of give up. That's it. And I was just taking step by step, basically. So there were many moments I was on my knees. But yeah, you just go through it. That's the hard part. I think it's after when it's finished, because you now have to like face that, okay, that you changed, your identity changed, and you need to process it. I think that's the hardest part.
What's the identity change?
Everything. It's just like you went through such a traumatizing, I think, as well, experience, worrying about your life, and of course having a family to really be worried about what would happen. Then everything changed, like like I think your view of world and the really the I would say, like, you really want to live every day on like, definitely, like, it's like you want to celebrate every day, every morning, basically. So I think that change and the identity, meaning with resetting values and looking at things a little bit differently than before.
But it's beautiful. You said you never have this victim mindset.
No,
is that like
never.
Because I think a lot of people say when they got a diagnosis of cancer, usually the first reaction is why me? Like it's a victim mindset. Then there is a moment like, what now?
Yeah.
Like so you jump into the next stage. Like you said, you're a fighter.
Yeah, I never look, I think, sorry.
Yeah, but it's after everything, like the motion, action, everything completed, you pause and realize, wow, that was a big journey.
Exactly. That journey. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because during the time you don't have time. It's just really rolls day after day. Like it's a big journey. It took a full year to do it. So
what is the biggest learning from this event? If you can share, you think you want to share with other women?
I think, well, my biggest learning is that what I tell everyone now, and we already touched on that, like, not wait, just enjoy, like, every day, and don't wait for the perfect moment. If there's a problem, stop and take care of your mental health, and don't wait for the train to crash, really.
It is. I think universe always send us like tests to review ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And you also mentioned the difference. So if I may ask, the version of Petra sitting here now versus the one before the cancer event? What could be what is the biggest difference?
I think I know how to pause now and definitely understand that I need to take care of myself as well. It's not like putting everyone first, but I think it's, yeah, you need to pour to your cup first, before you can help the others. So to understand that protect my energy as well and learn how to say no. And yeah, I think I mean, it's still me, right? But I think I look at life a little bit differently now.
I think you mentioned earlier when you described the life earlier, like you are a good mother, a good daughter, good everything. Now you said we need to get our cup full first. Yeah, I think usually that's always a big finding from that
Yeah.
kind of crisis.
Yeah, definitely.
And you find your deeper meaning
Yes, absolutely.
for the
Yes.
purpose and help women.
Yeah, my story went that I used to dream about being a photographer, but I was really passionate as my hobby as a teenager and a young adult. And then my parents were like, "Oh, that's not practical. Let's go something practical way, like marketing and business." So I did. Really enjoy it. As you know, marketing is a creative. And then kind of life got busy and I forgot about the hobby. And then after my journey and encounter with cancer, I was seeing a therapist and she said, "Well, why about your hobby, the photography? Why don't you go back to that? It will help you process a lot of emotions." So I did, and I was taking first pictures of women cancer survivors, and then about women, about my friends and women in around me, and I was asking them question like all these interview, and they had one similarity. They were like, "Oh, we don't want to put ourselves first and we don't want to take the place in the spotlights. We have all the pictures, full roll, camera roll of, our friends and kids and partners, but not about us." I was like, well, that's not right. We need to claim more space. So that's kind of the idea came of like helping women claim more space and stop playing small and really find their voice. So that's where the why kind of ignite spark came, and I started this new business helping women to be more visible and successful building their brands.
It's beautiful. It's like first you reclaim your hobby.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Then during this process, you find your calling to help women to be more seen. So let's talk about that. So on your LinkedIn banner, you mentioned the three words. I think you're helping women to claim success, visibility, and impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what specifically, I know everyone may have different definition or understanding about them. So what is your understanding of bringing those key message, helping women to achieve that?
Yes. So I put it under the umbrella of more you because I feel we can always be a little bit more us if we like tune in and say like, how can I be more me? And then that's coming from the personal branding, understand like who you are, what are your beliefs, what values, to claim more space, to take a place in the spotlight in order to help others to have the impact. So in my opinion, it's to first understand who you are, that's the foundation. And then you can claim your visibility. Of course, take the success, but also create an impact, because I think personal branding, and I'm sure we will talk about it. It's not about you, it's about like how you can maybe shine spotlight on for others as well. So that's how you can create an impact while you are visible and successful as well.
It's like from a serving perspective.
Yeah.
Like it's about sharing your like who you are, who you really
exactly.
are, your unique talent,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
energy, your
Yeah.
yeah. So personal branding, everyone has their own definition. You're the expert. So what is personal branding?
Yes, there are many definitions. The famous one is like personal branding is what people tell about you when you are not in the room, from Jeff Bezos. I agree, it's your reputation, but I have two kind of things that I would add to that. I think it's important. I think it's emotional connection, really. It's about how you make people feel. It's like people will forget what you did, what you said, but they will never
exactly.
forget how you made them feel. So I think the feeling is when we just have a conversation or when we work together, we network, what is that feeling? And the second one that it's very important to mention in personal branding, that you can intentionally build it, you can intentionally like say how you want to show up. And I think that's what many people get wrong, because they say, oh, I want to build my personal brand, and they have the fear of, oh, now I have to share like everything about me, where I went for holidays, if I have a partner or not, if I have a kids or not. You don't have to. That's just like really intentionally how you gonna show up. And just to say maybe what I believe about personal branding, it's not about what you do, but it's about who you are. I think that's kind of summarized that nicely as well.
That's so important. And what is the difference? You said we can intentionally plan it, but will somebody challenge saying that, oh, it's a little bit performative, right? What is like a performative personal branding compared to a natural, authentic one?
That's a really good question. So I say we never create a personal brand. We just build a personal brand. And that's the difference, because sometimes people come to me and they said, how one lovely lady came to me and she was pretty introverted and not, too like with her energy. And she said, oh, I want to create my personal brand to be extrovert and very funny and take a lot of space. I was like, well, it doesn't work like that. We can't change the personality. That would be very artificial. And people will know, especially now in these days, the authenticity. I think it's important. So I don't say create, I say build. So we keep us as we are, but we only can show up the parts that we want to show and we want to share. And I always say, I feel personal branding is like a makeup because you can decide. I mean, if you're going to have nice, beautiful red lipstick like you have today,
thank you,
or if you're going to put the makeup on or not, if you want to put your hair up or down, it's in your hands. But it's still you. It's still your hair. It's still your lips, still your look. It's just how you're going to show up. It's really in your hands. And I think that is very important, which parts of your personality you will intentionally bring forward and share.
This is so important. First, you need to be you first.
Yeah.
Then we do the canvas is still you.
Correct. Yeah.
Then you do the makeup. Yeah, it's fascinating. And now let's dive a bit more on the fear part.
Yeah.
I think because I know personal branding, we can talk hours, especially you're an expert, and we have so many different courses or supporting materials online.
Right, yeah.
So definitely we'll put your link in our show notes so
you.
people can find you.
Sure.
But because link back to our key message, fearless, I know, and you mentioned already a few times, before we do it, let's first address the fear. Because I know so many women still holding back doing personal branding, right? But deep down, we know our fundamental need is to be seen. Every woman, every person, human, we want to be seen fundamentally. But we also have this fear. Fear too. So that's the burning conflict. I believe a lot of people, my friends, and even some very successful people, right? They always have that. So what are the fears? I know you let's unpack a little bit. You work with a lot of corporates. So I think when people work for corporate and as entrepreneur, it could be a bit different regarding the personal branding. So for corporate, what are you see in your workshop, some of the fear really holding women back?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same actually. What they have, even if you are founder, entrepreneur, or professionals. I will get to the fears, but I think in founders and entrepreneurs, they understand that they need to really be visible. They
Yeah.
push a little bit more through. But what they're doing in the corporate, ladies and women, what I work with, they feel like, okay, they are not that pushed because they are in the corporate world, but more and more now experience they have enough of playing small. They want to claim their space. So the fear, to your question, I think it's pretty much the same. So if I ask in the workshop, can you please write it down? What's holding you back? What are the limited beliefs? It's usually the fear of judgment, fear of failure, perfectionism, even fear of success, like I mentioned earlier, imposter syndrome, who am I to take the space? So all these fears are coming up. It's like these limited beliefs. Even for women in the corporate, even for founders, it's the same. It's, I think, like us women, the lack of confidence, yes, to take the space, to be more visible. Because if you ask a room full of men, they wouldn't have the same answer, right? I don't know what they would say, actually.
It's always not enough.
Not that, yeah, exactly. And like you said, they are professionals, and every time you claim that step further, there are new fears coming up.
Yeah.
But if you unpack them, like you said, why is it happening? What is that holding me back? Then you can move further, I believe.
Yeah. The reason why I talk about difference between corporate and entrepreneur, I feel like myself, when I used to work for corporate, it's naturally you actually either consciously, subconsciously hiding behind the logo, right? You think, oh, we have the company need to do all the marketing, and it give you an excuse, actually, reason.
Yes.
And also, of course, you in corporate, you are afraid of being judged, to be too shining at the spotlight. But at the same time, you also kind of maybe jealous about those women or people who are really at the spotlight.
Yes.
So that's the burning conflict. Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I'm really passionate to help women to stop playing small, basically. And I think you can do it from understanding like really who you are, and again, why you want to take the spotlight. Maybe you want to get your next...
Do you have any case like you can share with us, like you help one
I always
woman?
sign a confidential agreement, so I can't say names.
You can just
but I can...
say one lady.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, well, in many cases, finding a voice. I had a beautiful client, and she was basically holding herself back in sharing like her story and speaking up in the meetings. So she would have the chair by the very important table, but then she would hold back and say like, oh, is that relevant, what I want to say? Is that... And she would be just quiet. But after the work that we did together, she was like ready to claim her voice and share it on Instagram and on LinkedIn as well, Instagram, what her is journey, what's her message, and what she want to change, or what's her point of view. So usually the story, the successful stories that I get, it's to be ready to get a clarity why you want to show up, and despite the fear, not overcome it, but accept it and move forward with the action to show up in little steps.
And it's always the vulnerability of the story. I think a lot of times those kind of authentic story really touch people. Yeah,
Absolutely. But I always say, yes, the vulnerability is very like, it's the value that if you want to be authentic, part of that is being vulnerable. But you can decide of like what kind of, how authentic, or what story you want to share. I do share my story with cancer, but I don't share like all the little details because I feel that's private. I don't want to share that. So you can decide. You don't need to share everything and be completely vulnerable and tell us everything about your life, but just the story, just the part that you want to share.
Yeah. Like you said, it's still, first we need to accept it, right? The level of visibility and and also the why. Like at this moment, why I need to be visible, what kind of things I want to be visible.
Why you want to achieve. So I always go like from the back, like reverse engineer, say, what is the goal? and what is the motivation. So once we clear on the goal, is it your next promotion? Is it you want to set up your side hustle? Is it you want to build your kind of expertise within the industry where you're working in the corporate? What is it? What you want to do? Why you want to be visible? And when you have the why, then it's easier to move forward, to claim, to find your voice and be visible.
So still in the corporate, what do you see the benefit of a person who is doing, a woman who's doing beautiful personal branding, like it's the real benefit?
I think it's, well, for the organization, that's definitely a benefit, because people will more listen. There is a statistic, a person, believe the person talking about a product or services rather than a brand. So that's for sure. If they show up more online or even offline, that will help build a brand for the organization. And then for the person itself, I think it's just feeling fulfilled. It's a lot of women I speak, they feel they are not seen and heard, and they are not feeling fulfilled. So, when you are not feeling fulfilled, then everything kind of falls apart because you're not happy, basically. You're not happy. And
I love the word fulfilled. Yeah, that's so real. The case previously you gave, like, I know a lot of women, like when you are sit at the table, you do have a lot of things you want to say, but you just keep it silent. So that's really not fulfilled.
That's exactly.
That's the
because
word.
Then you leave the meeting and say, oh, I should have said that. And I really
every
felt,
time.
and you don't. So
then you have this kind of, it's not traumatic, but anyway, this negative experience layered and accumulated. But there are some real, I will not say challenge. Like, for example, I know for Gen X women and also part of millennials, we are not growing with digital, or not like the young generation. They naturally they were born, just realized, they when iPhone was invented 2007, like if they were born like 2000, so they literally grow up
with the technology,
with all the technology. But we are the generation with TV and radio even. But so naturally you are not used to share part of life, like when we have a dinner, we need to take a different picture. We just feel, no, it's not me. Or I know a lot of my friends, I say, it's not me. We love real connection.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't have to share your dinner, it's just really, you can share what you're passionate about. Say, like you are sharing about helping women, right? We don't expect you to share what did you have for dinner, unless you want to, of course. But we want to share, we want to see your mission, like what you're doing and how you spend the day, maybe recording today, like a little bit behind the scenes. People love to see behind the scenes. So you can really decide what you wanna share. If this is not you sharing what did you have for dinner and all that, you don't have to. People misunderstand that with influencers. So influencers are the ones who say, look at me, what did I have for dinner? Look at me, I went to gym. Look at me, I have a new shirt. But with a person who is like building their strong personal brand, it's not about look at me, but look at that. So, for example, I can't wait to talk about my experience in your show, because I can put a light of what you do, right? So it's different, and then it becomes easier because it's not about me, but it's about them. So, like, having a strong personal brand, you are the guide. You are the guide to help others. So that really helps, I think, rather than look at me, look at me.
Yeah, I think one of my epiphany moments is I realize in the past, I also have this thing, like when you post something, you need to get validated, right? It's like a validation. I think the epiphany moment is like you realize it's a connection. it's similar to what you said. It's serving, it's about them, it's about
Right.
others, not about me.
Yeah.
So when you share something, at least one person is inspired. So you already get a connection. So it's not a validation, it's a
Yes.
connection.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautifully
yeah.
said. Yeah.
And also, I remember back to the earlier, like our relatively older generation not used to this. I remember I went to a event with a really my professor and beautiful. I think she's that kind of woman like we all admire. But I still remember when we tried to get a selfie and she got frozen.
Oh.
So then I realized, oh, even women like her, like we care so much about the photos and or the expression online. So then I realized, oh, we all hold that kind of fear, not good enough, like not especially
Yeah.
digitally, right? So because everyone can see that. So yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, and also I want to mention, I think the fear of being seen, it's also sometimes really subconscious. Even a lot of women, oh, I do want to do like social media, personal branding, something really holding them back. Then I talk about this with Anna, our previous episode. She is an inner child healing expert. She said this is one of the inner child is crying like she's not safe. Like, so you need to do the healing part first because you're still, she didn't feel safe enough to step out to be seen. So then your conscious mind try push this little child say, oh, go there, be the spotlight, get other people see you, right?
Yeah.
But first we need to do the inner work
Absolutely.
here. And also I think I would definitely suggest if any woman who still feel blocked or holding back, like hypnotherapy is also
It's amazing.
very
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
right? You never know what really holding
Exactly.
you
What's the
back.
root?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the worst advice that I hear is just get out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
Just be
Exactly.
visible. It's like, yes, great advice, but that doesn't work for most of the men, really. It's just to do the work first. Like Anna would say, inner child, I would suggest to really go back. Like what is that holding you back? Understand that, and then do the work about like your brand foundation, who you are, what is your values, what is your mission, what are your beliefs, and that really sets that foundation. Like building a house, you really need to build that first, like the base, in order to build a house so the roof doesn't collapse.
So for women who feel invisible now, can you give them maybe some practical tools we can do? 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 things we can do. Like a
Yeah.
quick, immediately, or in this week, we can start being more seen.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I would just say, to be honest with ourselves and say, what do we want? What is the goal? Like, what do we want to do? What we've been always like putting and waiting for the right time, like we said. And then understanding what's holding us back, step 2, and really like get into that. And then understand why. I think that why we want to take an action, and then just take a messy step. Just do it, because the time is never right, and try to take the step forward. But really do first understanding what's holding me back, why I want to do it, and then move forward.
Yeah. Never a perfect time. Yes. Yeah, so let's move to the limitless part.
Yes.
Actually, I think we already talked about this. You mentioned a lot of things actually happening is because of our limited belief we hold.
Yeah.
But back to the question, what's your definition like about having a limitless life?
I think we only create the limits. I think there is no ceiling, really. If you want to do something and get something or have something, you just need to set that goal and go for it. I don't believe there are some limits. We just create them ourselves. So I feel about there is limitless opportunities. It's just to go and get them again, not to wait that something will happen.
I feel like a lot of limited belief is still rooted in culture when we
Sure.
grow up. So you've been traveling, amazing journey traveling around the world. Definitely you see people from different culture. They may hold different limited beliefs. Can you give us an example or something you touch you about that?
Yeah, I think when we speak about visibility, for example,
Yeah.
what is that happening different across the cultures, what I've seen. So, like in Australia, that's all about being authentic and maybe kind of be natural. So the limited belief would be like, if I'm, I don't know, if I'm good enough, I think, or something like that. It could be for the States. They don't have the confidence is much bigger, and they don't. They are better to showing up and be visible. Again, this limited belief could be imposter syndrome or perfectionism. For Asia, as you know, well, you will probably better to explain. But what I think there is some like a culture restrictions. It's always to kind of hold them back, not to be too much. But I think you can talk about it better. And in Europe, it's really mixed. I think here in UK, it's a little bit different. Like I think culturally, women also like, I don't feel like I should shout out all my success and take the space, but it's changing, right? So yeah, it's different cross cultures, definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you mentioned Asian culture, we have so many like
Yeah.
Chinese idioms or older saying. I give you example like we have this older one like bullets always hit the bird with a longer neck. So it's never safe to stand out. So I think something, it's like when you were a little girl, it's rooted in your mind, right? And always repeated by your parents. So it's always like playing to be moderate,
Yeah.
to be quiet, to be okay, not that not that,
to stand out,
not
not to show
push it too far. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I realized I want to mention again. I actually mentioned this word a few times on the podcast. I love the word unlearning. And I literally find it myself. I feel like we really learned a lot since 6 years, especially starting school, right? From teachers and all the environment, social environment. We
Right.
learned everything. We learned those beliefs, and but now it's like you need to really be discerning. Yeah, that's the word, discerning, and unlearn those. Remind yourself, and I would say always pause when you find something not confusing, like maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe pause and ask yourself, is it a limited belief? So, or even deeper, where you adopt it,
Yeah.
right? It's amazing how when you dig deeper, do those inner work, you realize, oh, it's like even when I was like in the primary school, I get this story
Absolutely,
from,
yeah. Something for that, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
As I said, look for the root of that, and then try to change it or challenge it, and that's already, awareness is something what it's a great way how to change that, right? So just
Yeah, and
understand.
also talking about, I think we can definitely complain about the patriarchy like society, right? But back to the fundamental thing, I think it's all about ourself. Like sometimes the glass ceiling or whatever boundary, ceiling, limit, it is we set for ourselves.
Right.
Like we absorb the idea or limited belief from the environment. So it's still more inner work and realize, oh, what I can change.
Yes.
And you can change once you change the belief, right? Yeah. You have any like limitless person you especially admire, like her woman, definitely like woman, yeah, like her life. You think, wow, that's really a limitless life.
You mean to give an example?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never looked at up or admire like celebrities. I've been always like looking around me, finding inspiring women around me. I have so many beautiful clients I have worked with, and also women around me who've been able to push through like maybe some life change, what happened to them, and find a silver lining. I would definitely admire that. And for creating an impact, I think that is very important for that. So I don't have an example of a celebrity, but a lot of women around me that I would say
And what is
appreciate it.
your practice if we say we can be more limitless? For example, this week.
I think it's just it's again, look at the goals, like what you have, like what is, I love setting goals, but I go different approach. So it's like looking how you want to feel, like looking the why, the motivation, and then what is like 3 things this week you can do. So it's not overwhelming. And then, just do it and go for that. Not to wait for the right moment, like we said.
It is sometimes tricky, but also beautiful because I think you mentioned a few times the messy actions we need to take. But at the same time, we cannot push ourselves too much. You
That's
also
true.
mentioned that,
Yeah.
I try to do the compare like two situation, right? It is, but it is important. Right,
Yes.
we say it's like inspired action when you truly follow your intuition.
Right.
That may not be limitless part, but I think it's important. Like when you have the inner voice, your intuition, and you realize this is an inspired action,
Right.
then whatever it looks so big, so scary, so intimidating, you just need to move that first step.
Absolutely.
But when you feel really uncomfortable, you mentioned the word accept. When you cannot accept that, then don't push yourself, especially visibility,
Right.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But I would also say what I have learned is progress over perfection.
Beautiful.
I think that is very important to understand because especially us women, we all want to be perfect. But that's what I have learned, that there's
By the way, that's a limited belief.
yes,
right?
correct, absolutely.
A classic
yeah,
one.
classic one that I hear as well in the room full of women. What's holding you back? It's the perfectionism. But I think progress over perfection to move forward. And it might not be just like push the visibility because that's like go out of your comfort zone. That would be a bad advice. But it's just okay, well, take steps. So what you can do this week, what you can do next week, what you can do the following week, how you can get to your goal, to your vision, to your intention.
It's funny. Sometimes we all say that we want perfectionism, but if you ask someone, "Oh, who is the definition, or who is you looking at?" Actually, they cannot be that. Like there's no kind of like no concrete
Yes.
image or like, oh, that's why we always feel not enough, right? Because you don't have a really clear benchmark or reference model, that kind of thing.
True.
So it's very interesting. So actually, in one mentor session, I asked her, my mentee, to write down the dream, like the perfect person she would like to be. And so interesting when she write down the name, and she also do her work, like I always say, oh, you're raising your frequency. That's funny, the dream lady actually contact her for a potential job. So it's really a wonderful case, I think, for that.
Yes, manifestation works for sure.
Okay, let's go to the last part, which is a very interesting part. Is about age.
Right, yeah, that's I love that you're taking care of this topic.
Yeah, and also actually we did receive a lot of feedback from our audience, like they love the word ageless. To me, ageless is about your spirit, because whatever we look, our spirit is ageless. So, what do you think? Do you have certain period in life like you are really afraid of aging?
See, that's again coming back to the childhood. I remember my mom when she turned 39 and then she was moving forward. She asked us to tell everyone that she's 39 for next 5 years because she couldn't like move through that
Oh,
like kind of feeling that she's over
so she
40.
created this like a
Yeah,
fake
she was
life.
tell everyone that I'm 39. I really strongly remember that. And so when I was turning 39, I was like, no, I feel fine. I mean, 40, amazing, that's fine. And now I'm reaching a big milestone. I'm going to be 50 next year.
Wow.
And when I wrote about it on LinkedIn, I'm 49 in April, my DMs and all the comments, it was just flowing in.
Mm.
It's like, oh, great, you can talk about your age. That's amazing. And I was like, why not? It's just, I think we are here to celebrate every year. And I know it's a cliche to say, but I think it's true. It's just a number and it's just really how you feel and how you look at it. So I really embrace every year and we'll see what I'm going to say when I turn 60, but now it's just a really big milestone and I feel fine and I'm happy to share like how old I am and about aging, like how we're looking at it. I think it's just wonderful to
Yeah.
celebrate and embrace it, your age.
I think for some culture, like 30 is
Yes.
quite a big, already like a milestone.
Sure,
You have to
absolutely.
you have to take
Step
check
by
all the
step,
box
yes,
before
yes, yes.
30, and the 40 definitely. But I always love one of my favorite quotes from Carl Jung, like before 40, it's just research.
Oh, lovely.
That real life really stuff, and it's amazing. It's true. Like a lot of my friends, somehow they all face some big life change, even like health crisis. Myself actually is also the same. Like when you are at that 40 threshold, you always given some interesting.
Right.
Case or test, whatever you call it. But that's the time for you to transcend your
Yes.
previous like limited belief about
Exactly.
age.
Yeah.
Right? I was quite touched actually. Last week I was at I joined a webinar and there's like a conversation between this moderator and a woman. And so he asked, what was your biggest concern now? And the woman said, I feel it's too late. Then he asked her, how old are you? She said 37.
Oh.
So at that moment, I did feel a bit sad or pain for that lady, because that's really the traditional limited belief we are so kind of, I will use the word cocoon in that kind of layer by layer, right? The social education, teaching, I would say. But that's why I realized like we really need to share, like people who are ageless, who adopt this ageless spirit and living, we need to share, and that's the empowerment, right?
Absolutely.
Like let more people know that you could everyone's different. It's really like everyone has their own path, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's never too late, right?
Yeah, it's never too late to
to
start over. I always mention a lot of cases. I think even Estee Lauder, and she like started business in 50s, Vera Wang in 40s, and
Vera Wang,
a lot of
absolutely
famous women.
I had a client, actually, a lovely lady, and she always had a dream to be a photographer.
Oh, okay.
And she just changed her career in her 70s.
Oh, wow.
And she actually became amazing food photographer, and she wrote even a cookbook. She took pictures of that. I mean, why not? It's why not? You can change your career completely in any age. I was 42 when I completely changed the career, basically, and I stepped away from my first business and started doing this, what I'm doing now, and back went to photography and back to marketing. So yeah, you can change as many times as you like. There is no age limit.
And after that came the word fulfillment.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can kind of imagine like your friend in her 70s, like how fulfilled she
Amazing.
feels, right?
She's like glowing, and it's so nice to see her happy and doing what she wants to do. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Because it's amazing. Like we are really given everyone. That's actually back to the personal branding thing. Why we need to do this because everyone is so unique. We have our own talent, kind of also like a mission on
Yes.
this planet with this lifetime. So how we can really experience more. Don't live in the age. Sometimes aging feel like a box, right? You
Right.
just put yourself into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also by the society, like say, okay, oh, you 30, it used to be like you're 30, you need to have a house, you need to have a husband, you need to have children. And I had my children quite, I think I was 36 and then 40. And already like everyone back home was saying like, oh, it's kind of late, I was like, no, it's not. It's my life. I can,
So how do you keep yourself so radiant? like what is the lifestyle, or especially after your like a cancer?
Yeah, I think
event.
it's exercising for sure. That helps. Eating healthy, and taking care of myself. Just having a bit of me time, so which I used to just kind of skip every time. I remember going to a hairdresser and say, like, I don't need a quick, not just like quick wash and let's go. I was like, no, okay, I'm gonna take the time.
That's so real. I did that too in the past.
I used to do that.
Like everything is quick.
Yeah.
And when you work for a big company or like agency, it's like everything is so fast paced.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, no. It's just like, take my time. It's okay. It's my time. So yeah, just and yeah, I love to do sports. I have 2 boys, so they are very active, and traveling, getting inspiration, and not to settle with something that is just feel like, okay, that's fine, it's not fine. You can just always ask for more. That's why we're going back to the start.
That. Ask for more, experience more. Yeah. And also actually this could be ageless living is a good part for building your personal brand, right? Yeah.
There's
anything else you think, or maybe advice you can give our audience, like how to live agelessly?
I think again, it's just don't look what everyone else is doing and what they're thinking, how the society wants you to be. It's like really what you want to do. It's really, I think it's so important to understand who you are, again, back to the personal brand, who you are and what you want and how you want to show up, how you want to show up for yourself. That's how I think it's very important.
So let's take the time machine to your 20 years old time. I know you travel a lot, you're a completely different lifestyle, but what would you give her? 3 pieces of advice.
Yeah, I think that would go back to what we already said. It's really don't look what anyone else think. It's your life. Don't wait for the perfect moment, and go with tune in, like with your intuition. What do you really deep down want to do?
Any more?
There are many more advices I'm sure I would give myself. It's to take care of yourself, and don't wait for the perfect progress over perfection.
Yeah. I think it's really important, like you mentioned a lot of times, like don't wait for the perfect timing. That's such a big, I think, reminder for everyone. Anything you want, if you're writing a letter to yourself 10 years later, what do you want to achieve? Like 3 things in the next decade.
Oh, wow.
That's actually a question. I find it interesting. It's not a question for our audience. It's usually a question for my guest.
Right.
So they said, oh, Serena, we love the question.
No, I love the question. I love questions. I think it's really on the mission. Like I said, when I started my first business, the why was like having a freedom for myself. But when I started my second business, what I do now, it's to really create an impact. And that is my ultimate like mission, what I do with the work. So if I can inspire more women to take the action and build a personal brand, I can create more impact, then the world can be a better place, I believe. So definitely going in that direction and creating more impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And personally, my dream is to live in Italy.
Oh, okay.
So in 10 years' time.
Feel like eat, pray, love.
Exactly. In 10 years' time, I hope to live there. Kind of. No, it's just you ask about the big dreams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it is definitely do what I'm doing and create an impact, but also like following the dreams, like to, create the life that me and my husband are talking about that we one day want to do and live. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, maybe you can share a bit more about your framework and
Yeah.
about how the personal branding. I know you have some powerful like scorecard, that kind of
Yeah.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Your audience can go to my website. There's a
Yeah.
scorecard. They can look at how their professional performance, like not performance, presence, professional presence, how strong is their personal
Yeah.
brand, and what maybe they can take further and where to work on that. So my personal brand framework that I help women is called More, simple because of More You. And it goes in the steps that we kind of touched on. So more is for motivation, for goals, to really understand why you want to take and build your personal brand. O is for owning the brand. So understand again the values, your mission, like your beliefs, and why you want to build the brand. Really tune in and to that. The third one is R. It's like reach. What is your audience? Who do you want to talk to? And the last one is E as establish your present. Like that's why I think is the mistake, that when people decide to build a brand, they just decide, okay, I'm going to show up on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and I'm going to share my message. But eventually they kind of hit the wall, because without the brand foundation and the steps before that I just described, it's not going to work. So this is my framework called More You. And I believe when you go through that, that there's no way that it's not going to work. And I help women even one-to-one. So I have a great group program called More You that I can help them, even if it's a corporate, or they work in a corporate, or they are founders or entrepreneurs like you.
That sounds wonderful. I think More You. I literally can see that picture. Like we all have our like kind of shadow self. Like you are helping women like more and more in the light and the receiving. Again, I like the word you mentioned, fulfillment. Like if one more woman feel more fulfilled, we can actually get the community, because we're all connected. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So finally, you may know that on Women in the Penthouse, we have this Penthouse Rule in the end, because our mission is to kind of redefine the penthouse life. It's not saying we're rejecting material, that kind of thing. I think it's like the real abundant life is holistic. It's most important you have a beautiful, peaceful mindset. Like we repeatedly mentioned, it's all the work here, like inner work. When you have this beautiful inner space, we call it's your penthouse. So we want to redefine the penthouse life. So I ask every guest at the end to give only one rule, like penthouse rule. If we live in this penthouse, what is your penthouse rule?
I think it's go with the authenticity of being true to yourself. I think that is important, not to be anyone else, to be like true to yourself. Yeah, with the authenticity.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
No,
I really
so
love
much.
our conversation. And I think it's the beautiful flow of everything. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Serena.
And we have a very good time control. Thank you for being part of the journey. Every story is here to inspire you, challenge you, and ignite the courage to make real change. So until next time, keep rising, keep living your penthouse life.